We're closing in 40 days. I'm going to stop this a little early and plan out my maneuver. I'm seeing in the chat, you can get to Mars in 3.5 days at a constant 1G acceleration, sure. And do we have a vessel capable of doing anything approaching that? Like, no. We got to think about what can be done practically. Okay, so here we are. We're only 1 day from our ejection. We're now 1 year, 384 days into this mission. I'm checking on my Kerbals. They're a little stressed. But only a little, still under 10% stress. They're still enjoying their habitat. All got smiles on their faces. A good thing I brought the primary original 4 crew. Okay, let's set up now. What kind of warning did I give on this? I gave a 24-hour, which is a 4-day warning. Okay, what is Ike's? That's a good question. I put this on Ike. Let's go back. Because we got to get Ike in the right position if we're going to do this. So center this on Ike. Where's our Ike button? Do we have Ike's orbital period? Good. Yes, we do. Ike's orbital period is 3 days. Okay. And we need Ike to be... Where is... Oh, we got... Oh, here. What we can do... Open this up. Show the ejection angle. Actually, this is perfect. This is perfect. Let's tuck this out of the way. This is our eject. This is where we got to make our burn from Duna to go out this way. I got to really think about this. Does this mean that we want Ike here? I don't know. I think I probably should come around. Let's start playing with this. I really want to play with getting this right. So we're going to blow straight at Ike. You can tell if you got it right. Like, this doesn't feel right for sure. Because your ejection needs to come out this way. Probably start setting Kerbin as a target. That's exciting. Just trying to get a feel for exactly where Ike should be. I maybe should have thought about this ahead of time, but you know, I didn't. So all I'm going to do is look at my periapsis. If I pop ahead in orbit, so a little further. Yeah, see, all of those makes it better. Now play with the timing. Oh my gosh, yes, that's making it better. Pop ahead a few orbits. Play with the timing. Well, actually, that made it a little worse. Back in orbit. Oh, I'm jumping by 100 seconds. That doesn't help. Okay, so I'm just looking at my closest approach here. Okay. And just trying to get the timing right. So as I do this, I'm just adjusting the timing. It's making it smaller. Okay, now if that's 121,685, now if I pop ahead in orbit, can I now, just by adjusting the time, and make that better? Of course, that involves me remembering. No, it's worse. It's worse. Okay, got a plan. So what we're going to do, delete the maneuver. I'm going to time warp. Remember, Ike's period is 3 days, so we're going to get around till Ike is around here, and then we're going to really play with this. Oh, that's setting up this alarm here. Okay, not going to delete it because I still want all those details. I can probably turn off the phase angle. Oh, I already did. Okay, cool. All right, I want to get Ike about here-ish. Stop, 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 stop. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can set this up. Out we go. I'm going to try and get this burn as cheap as I can. So here is my periapsis with Kerbin. Definitely needs to come out for like further in this way. Okay. Play with the timing. Okay, so that's 14,885. Now go ahead and orbit. Play with the timing. See, that's I can get it lower now without making it any. So that means I time warped. Yeah, I stopped my time warp early. Let's go ahead a few orbits. So now it's 14,473. That number there. Pop ahead some orbits. Say 3. Play with the timing. 14,873 or something to that effect. I can't even. Here we go. Now I can see this better. That makes it worse. Oh, that's not okay. Gotta come back an orbit or two. Just trying to get the right orbit here. So that's 14,582. Come back another orbit. Yeah, that was better. Okay, 14,466. Come back another orbit. Can I get it lower than that? I think that previous one was the better one. Yep. I think this is the orbit I want to be on. Okay, so now let's fine-tune this and get this Kerbin encounter. So I need a little bit more prograde for sure. A little bit more. Oh, there's my Kerbin encounter. Just like bam. Right there, I'm hitting Kerbin. And what do I got? 332 meters per second when this is saying 546. That ain't bad. I'll take that. Okay, let's focus our view on Kerbin. So sorry if that's a little bit confusing. I wasn't really watching the chat through all that. Oh, I think I got to up the number of patches. Where's my patch conic limit? I want to up this up. Apply, accept, resume. Because there's my encounter with Kerbin. Too many SOI changes happening. Okay, let's get back our maneuver. And again, for now, I'm just going to play with the timing of it. Oh, it's really not going to get much better than that. I can get closer this way. We're clearly going to make there we go. Look at that. Okay. Coming in a little closer again, a little bit more. The timing really affects the inclination too. There we are. A little more this way. These are tiny adjustments I'm making, by the way. And by the way, our target is this space plane, which I'm honestly very worried about, and I'll talk about that as we get closer. If worst comes to worst, I could fly up another space plane. Let's see here. Again, let's play. Nope. A little closer still. I'll never burn this precisely anyway, so I don't know who I'm kidding. Getting the inclination reasonable would be, I think, job 1. There's no way in heck I'm going to burn this, but it makes me feel good that I got it, that I got it at least set up that way. Okay, that's going to be it. So just to sort of explain, because I know that was maybe a little bit confusing, kind of what's happening here. So, we can probably ignore this. I'm not exactly sure. Duna, maybe, yeah, I think Ike will be around here maybe. So my burn's coming up in 4 hours and 5 minutes. And what we're doing is we're ejecting straight out of Ike when Ike is going to be around here somewhere. And the velocity we're going to be shooting ourselves from Ike out of is adding to Ike's velocity as it's coming around Duna. We're taking advantage of the fact that Ike's whipping around like this. And that is firing us off in this direction. And that's why we're doing this burn quite a lot cheaper than if I was just sitting in orbit about Duna. So I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to do a quick save. Make sure that isn't... What do we got? Some milestones here. We have performed a... Oh, yeah. All that. And a contract failed. Probably just... Yeah. Probably just expired. I don't care. You're going to hear that a lot from me. I don't care. Okay. F5 again. Time warping. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Now, all these are at full thrust limiter? Yes. Yeah. Oh, I should definitely get Bill out to check those engines. So we'll time warp a little bit, but Bill 100% has to... I haven't serviced those engines in a little bit. Here, we'll get a little closer. Okay. Bill's getting out there. Bill's not going to let go until we make sure he has monopropellant too. Not going to make that mistake again. So, let's see. Bill's inventory. Inventory. There we go. He has monopropellant. Don't want to repeat Bob's mistake. All right, Bill. So his job's just going to be going out here and checking these engines. Maybe I should check other things like solar panels and antennas. Like all of that stuff wears out too. But engines is more critical for now. So inspect the engine. This will last for ages, so it was in good shape. Inspect this engine. Doesn't look used at all as it even turned on, so that one's great. And then finally over here for this engine. It's practical. Okay, so all the engines were ducky. Let's just take a look at our solar panels. Clearly that's going to be an issue if they go. So inspect the solar panel. This will last for ages. If there's a problem, it'll give you the opportunity to service them. And then I'll get in close to this one. Make sure you don't crash into it, Bill, because these are fragile. Oh, do I have to get close to the base? I have to be close to the base. There it is. Inspect. Looks like it's going to fall apart soon. Okay, service that. Good stuff. All right, Bill, you did good. We fixed something. Let's look at antennas, because I think antennas go too. You know what? The rest of it we'll deal with if it breaks. There's redundancy in everything else. We'll deal. We shall deal. Alright, board he goes. Okay, we got our burn coming up in 23 minutes. Getting excited. These folks are getting excited too. They want to head home. Okay, get that locked on. Oh, wait a minute. I got, we haven't used it in a while, but I do have my KOS script. I might as well use that. So, run the good old X-Man script. And we are off. So, that back there. There's this warning here about supplies, but it's just nitrogen. It's based on percentages. And it's only because I used up a ton of nitrogen to inflate the gravity ring. So yeah, now you can see exactly how this is working, right? Where Ike is, we are, you know, we're adding our velocity is Ike's velocity is adding to our velocity and making our trip out cheaper. And that's going to happen if you have a biggish moon relative to the parent body that's in a relatively small or low orbit. That's why this same thing happens with Lathe, because Lathe is a big moon in a pretty low orbit about Joule. So using Lathe to help you kick out is great too. SAS is off because the KOS computer has control. It has turned off SAS. It has taken control away from our pilots. Okay. We will get SAS back once Hal has relinquished control. All right. Okay, and we are off. We are off. So it's at a minute, just a little over a minute for this burn. Not too bad. So I mentioned I'm a little bit worried about the space plane because, well, we're in year 138 days. We still got to go back to Kerbin. So that plane is going to have been sitting in low orbit about Kerbin with nobody maintaining anything for like 2 years. It's just tumbling. And, you know, you saw all the warnings for all the other vessels, solar panels failing, lights failing, reaction wheels failing, all that kind of stuff. And, I don't know. Hopefully it's nothing we can't fix when we get there. All right. Now I'm actually going to watch this from Kerbin's perspective. So let's get out here. Bringing this down. Can I switch? Oh my god, it's hard to click on stuff sometimes. Kerbin. See how close this comes. There's no RCS on this vessel, so I can't... Oh, look at that. I'm coming around and getting a moon encounter, too, if I want to. That's neither here nor there. Let's see how close this gets. Whether it's close or not, it's okay. We'll deal with it with a correction burn. Here it comes. How good is my coding? How good is my coding? I mean, really... You know, don't mean to brag, but I'm that makes me happy. That makes me happy. So we got an 84-kilometer closest approach there. Wow. I don't know. We're barely going to have to change that at all. Okay, so the next step in all this, there's really not much to do, is, again, quick saving and just starting to time warp out of these various SOIs. You can probably get rid of this now safely. And we do have another harvest coming up in only 25 days, so that's a good. That's another high point. But there really shouldn't be any more science to collect. Goodbye, Ike. Okay, we are now. Oh, look at that monstrous eclipse from Ike. That monstrous shadow. That looked cool as it was coming off. Okay, goodbye, Duna and Ike. We had a lot of fun. But we are eager to get ourselves back home. Oh, and I think, yes, I think that marked our transition now back into interplanetary space. There we go. Now we're still got 318 days before we're here. Jeepers creepers. I'll try and see if I can do some adjustments to that, but honestly, I'm not really sure what's going to be necessary. Here, I'll put a maneuver out here somewhere. Back to type selection. Celestial bodies. Kerbin. Our relative inclination is only 0.9 degrees from Kerbin, so that's pretty good. Okay. Bump bump maneuver. Like, I'd like... What I'm debating... Here, let's set this as a target. Do I get any... No. What I'd like is for my inclination relative to Kerbin to be as low as possible. But you know what? I don't think maybe I need to worry about it. I might be worrying about nothing. So I'm wondering if I should do this. That's what I'm thinking. No, 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 I shouldn't do that. What am I thinking about? Back, back, back. Back we go. Because we can capture into an elliptical orbit and then do a really cheap plane change out here if our periapsis is very close to our target. So this is the way to do it. You know what? I'm going to make this... This is a 1/10 of a meter per second burn. It's going to be more expensive if I move it closer, but I think that's a good plan. And then it'll be easier to make the adjustment. So we're going to move that really close. So periapsis right just touching the orbit's what we're shooting for here. So a little bit outwards. There. Now it's a 0.3 meter per second burn. I think I can afford the difference. A little bit this way. Okay. All right. And so that burn is not coming for another 93 days. So again, we're going to quick save before we do any time warping, and we're just going to time warp. One thing I noticed about the gravity ring, people are talking about the gravity ring in the chat, is that when I time warp, the gravity ring doesn't go faster. So why can't I move the camera around? It's being weird. What view am I on? Here, orbital. There we go. The gravity ring doesn't go faster as I time warp. See that? So that's sort of funny. The other thing I did is between the two streams, I actually worked out how many G's they're pulling in this ring. What is the gravity like? And if you want, it's a pretty simple formula to calculate. It's just R times omega squared is the formula to remember to figure out what is the acceleration of something moving around in a circle. So R is simply the radius, distance from the center of the rotation out to wherever the Kerbal's feet are. And omega is the angular velocity, the rate at which it is rotating, but it has to be in radians per second. So for those people that aren't familiar with radians, I can understand a radian... Oh, do I have a harvest? I think I got a harvest. I'm getting distracted. Emergency harvest. Why do I... No, I don't want to do an emergency harvest. I still got 2 days. Okay, never mind. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. For those people that don't know what a radian is, it's just a different measure. It's a different unit at which you can measure angles. People are pretty familiar with degrees. A radian really is just a simpler degree, is really what it is. It's like the difference between an inch and a centimeter. But the thing you got to remember is that there are 2 pi radians in a complete rotation, a complete circle. So all you got to do is time how long it takes to do a complete rotation, and I timed that. It was easy enough to do. It was 10 seconds to do a complete rotation. So the angular velocity in radians per second is simply 2 pi divided by 10. You have to square that by the formula, and then you got to multiply by the radius, which I measured in the VAB to be 5 meters, pretty much exactly 5 meters. So 5 meters times 2 pi over 10 squared, and that comes out to be Oh, I didn't write the actual number. But it comes out to be about 2 meters per second squared, which is about 0.2 of a G. It's almost exactly 0.2 or 1/5 of a G. So in other words, when they're in this ring, they get 1/5 the gravity that they would get on Kerbin's surface. So that was a lot of talk about a little bit of math. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Let's get to our harvest. So you can do an emergency harvest. Oh, it's ready to harvest. This always seems like this alarm is done before this is done. So harvest. There we go. Give ourselves some more food. Water, I'm noticing for the first time, is down around 115 days. I hope that's okay. But whatever. Okay, let's give my... This time I'm going to set this alarm for 195 days. So this is a raw alarm. 195 days from now. So it always seems to go off early. Okay, so we're harvesting our next group of crops. And we do have... You know what? I should also set an alarm for that maneuver, shouldn't I? Before I forget. Give me 5 minutes warning on that maneuver. There we go. So our next harvest is still before. But I'm looking at my water now. I'm a little bit concerned. Why is my... Oh, now it's back to perpetual again. I think it's just the water recyclers kicking on and off. Okay. Time warping to our next... harvest. Yeah, I don't think we're losing water. I think what's happening... I don't know what's happening. I see it keeps bouncing. There's water recyclers, but the water recyclers take the wastewater and get it back. And I think it's not 100%, so we are slowly losing water. There's no doubt about that. Like, there's less water on the ship than there was before. But I think then, you know, the waste... If we look at the water waste, the wastewater, notice it's down to 0. I think that gets up to a certain amount, and then the water recycler kicks on, and then that puts a little bit back, but never as much as what it just took out. But the short of it is that I don't think this number here is... sorry, this 93 days. I don't think that is right. We have escaped the gravitational influence of Ike. Okay. Okay. That's the long and short of it. I certainly hope that's the case anyways, because if it's not, I'm in trouble. Okay, let's get to our... And... the numbers, the little calculator in the VAB told me I had enough water, so I'm going to trust it. Whether Jeb, Bill, Bob, and Valentina trust it, I don't know. I don't know what that warning was. I wasn't paying attention. Are we getting a malfunction? Uh-oh. We have a malfunction of some kind. I missed the warning. Did somebody see it in the chat? We have something broken. Something's broken here. Oh, but maybe it's just something that's not to do with this ship. I don't see anything highlighted. Let's keep going. Go to failures. Go to failure. Oh, failures right here. Dome lights. I think these... Oh, wait. Are these... No, I think these are all on things... It doesn't tell you what vessel these are on. Either way, they're all lights. It doesn't matter. It looks to me like the lights are all working. So I think it's just... It's other stuff. It's not this vessel. At least I hope it's not this vessel. Nav light needs repair is what it said. Okay. I can live without a nav light. I don't think anyone's going to crash into us out here. Solar panel malfunction on the relays. I got to really watch these. As long as they're not this ship, everything else is fine. Okay, coming up to a harvest again. Reserves are getting low on the Ike 1. No, they're not. No, they're not. We're fine. It says like 162 days, but it works on a percentage. So I think it's because the food just dropped below. Like you can see here, it says 15% and went to orange, but you know, we're getting close. We're only 84. We're getting close. So I think it's just because as a percentage of what we started with, we've used up a lot. I think it's fine. We're fine. We're fine, I hope. Please be fine. Please be fine. Okay. The water's what's unnerving. That it keeps 67 days of water. That keeps... But I think it's really more than 67 days. Alright. Getting a warning here. This is for our harvest. This time I think it came a little early. 4 days according to this to the harvest. So we'll do that last 4 days. That'll bring up our food supply. Okay, so harvest. Does that mean our food's no longer... Yeah, food's no longer in the orange after that harvest, so that's nice. Cool, cool, cool. Do another alarm here for the next harvest. I think, though, we might not get this harvest. This harvest might be after we're home. That might have been our last full space harvest. Because I'm thinking... That harvest is still 200 days away, and, like, that's 101 days away. Getting closer. We can look at it, actually, from out here. Why don't we look at it from... See, we're close. We're getting closer. Keep reading the chat and then noticing the time warp is popping out, and then that's how I'm missing the warnings. Oxygen reserves are dangerous. We're going to get a number of those now. And again, it's just because it's based on a percentage. We've used up like 85% of our oxygen, but yeah, we're in the home stretch now. As long as we got enough to get us home, we're fine. Light on a relay. Alright, coming up to this maneuver. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited that we are really... Well, let's not jinx it. No jinxing allowed. Don't say it. Okay. Putting it on. We don't need oxygen. Who needs oxygen? But you see how water's now back to being perpetual again. Because the water recycler just turned on. So it's a little bit weird. But then as soon as it runs out of wastewater... this will go back to whatever it was, but it will have been a higher number than what it was before it went to perpetual. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Now I'm noticing this is a 1/10 of a second burn. Clearly that. Unfortunately, I really should have put maneuvering thrusters on this thing. I didn't think... Another thing I didn't think about. Like always using the main engines for this kind of stuff is a little bit silly. But... those are the only engines we got. Unless a Kerbal's going to go out and push. That's all we got. Alright, so we're going to do this burn here. I don't have to wait for this to get to 0 because it's not. It's hardly time critical. And again, I'm just doing it very lightly because very little thrust. It's an itsy bitsy, bitsy witsy burn. I am maybe a smidge more. Gotta be a little careful with all this, but there we go. Fine. Okay, let's set an alarm up for the SOI change. Give me like 6 hours warning. Well, that's minutes. Give me 6 hours warning on that because SOI changes can be weird. And I'm just going to orient this for the solar panels once again. Welcome back there, Polak. Okay. I should probably put these engines back up to 100 because I'll end up forgetting that they're at only 5%. You know, one of the things that Kerbalism doesn't do is it still gives you infinite throttle range on those engines, which you really kind of, if you've never played with like Realism Overhaul, really kind of realize just how easy that, not easy, but how much of a benefit that is to have infinite throttle and not to have to worry about, you know, being able to make the tiniest of burns. Okay, yeah, we're coming here, aren't we? We are coming for you, Kerbin. I'm going to do a quick save again. So see how I start the time warp and notice how the encounter with Kerbin suddenly disappears. Water reserves are getting low. No, they're not. We're fine. I'm getting all kinds of warnings now. Roadmate 2. I don't care. But every time I time warp, the encounter disappears. So it's really easy without an alarm clock to just blow right by your Kerbin encounter. I've done that before and it's very frustrating. Okay, time warp is stopping. No, we're not going to dive into the atmosphere. That's a normal thing. It's a very common thing to do. In fact, it's really not too hard to, especially if you're just coming from Duna or from Eve, to do some aero braking for your capture around Kerbin. Kerbin's pretty... No, that's my Kerbin encounter. My Kerbin escape. This is what I hate. Just gotta watch my time. Nope, we're there. We're in. See what I mean? Oh, I hate that. Okay. So let's just do our capture. Yeah, no aero braking. Kerbin's pretty easy to aero brake around, but I mean, come on, look at this craft. Do you think it's gonna? No, I'm not gonna do aero braking. I think that is asking for a problem. But what we will do is capture into just an elliptical capture. I don't want to encounter the moon, so get lost, moon. So we're just that's well, it's what it is. There we go. And then we'll make the slight inclination difference here. That'll be a teeny tiny burn. So that's just a 246 meter per second burn. Maybe go a little further just to really make sure we don't end up encountering the moon. I don't want that. That's it. That's it. And it's a 58 second burn coming up in, wow, just 3 days. 3 days. So see, the water supply's held up fine. See, we've still got 41 days of water left, so there was nothing to worry about. Okay, where's Kerbin? There's Kerbin. There's Kerbin. There's Kerbin. If I were ever to do this again, an interplanetary voyage with Kerbalism, is I would go between the streams. Oh, shite. Okay. Well, thank you, NC Davis, for that generous donation. It's very, very, well, but I just realized I just time warped and never set up an alarm because I'm an idiot. So where am I at? Okay, the burn's here, the burn's here. Okay, I did quick save before I time warp. So how about we set up an alarm? Give me 2 weeks, 2 minutes warning. That's just, time warping mistakes don't count. Time warping mistakes don't count. So I went right past just because I'm a dummy. So, because I forgot to set the alarm. There we come. That looks a little better. Okay, get KOS ready. And boom. There we go, Kerbin. Kerbin, my precious. Let's put this on free for now. It is slowly rotating, is it not? Boy, it's taking its time getting... Are my reaction wheels failing? Do I have an issue with reaction wheels? Because this... Oh, maybe it's just me. Just feels like it's really not turning very quickly. There are my reaction wheels. They're saying everything's nominal. Okay, they'd be highlighted if they weren't. Nervous fingers losing ships, yeah. Those are the kind of things, I don't know. I don't count that. They unlocked the science of time travel. Hey, it really feels like I have less torque. Not sure what's going on here. I'm just looking here. Like, nothing's highlighted. I mean, this has reaction wheels. There, it's under control. And they're saying they're running and normal, so I don't know. Weird. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. Might be I'm anxious. Or maybe, you know what it could be too. Could be... No, the clock seems to be running okay. And I'm not seeing really much in the way of stuttering when with the gravity wheel. I don't have the lander reaction wheels anymore. That's possible too. Yep. I could be just getting... Come on, get the burn done. I can inspect the... You know what? After this burn, getting Bill out and doing a whole stack of inspections is probably a pretty decent idea. Because... Yeah. Just to go through... We are now year 2, day 287 into this mission. But... So yeah, we should probably just get Bill to go around, just inspect everything. We don't need anything to go wrong now. Yes, so NC Davis, next week I will be rounding off the flag planting marathon. That is the plan. That is the plan. We are going to be, no matter what happens here, this stream is now done. Even if somehow I end up completely, if it ends in disaster, that's what it's going to end in. But oh, sunrise. Sunrise. I am pretty happy though. You know, little bit of confusion with radiation. Some electrical issues. Some issues with the lander in here wiggling its way out. I'm still not convinced I did anything wrong. I think there's something with... I don't know. I think somehow the gravity ring really messes up the radiation calculation thingy. Okay, we are done our burn, aren't we? Burn complete. Yes. Program ended. Good, good, good. Alright, we are captured. So next step in all this is just to correct this inclination. So I just want to zero this out. Where's my AN there? There it is, 0.4 degrees. Little tiny burn out here. That was a little, there we go. Perfecto. And that means we're in the same plane, and then we'll set up a rendezvous with the plane, and then, yeah. So what we're going to do next, that's coming up in just 20 minutes. Or, sorry, there's only a 21 meter per second burn coming up in 5 hours. But I'm going to, again, I'm hoping this will be Bill's last EVA. This should be Bill's last EVA. Pin that there. Oh, there's something going by here. Don't know what that is. Bill's the one who's definitely had the most fun EVAing. Valentina and Jeb. Jeb hasn't left the seat in here since this started. Valentina at least got to go out and rescue Bill. Or Bob. Sorry, it was Bob that had to be rescued. Okay, that should give him monoprop. It does. Okay, we're going to do a lot of inspecting here. So, science equipment I really don't care about. You know what's kind of cool too about the ship and doing it kind of this way is this ship is going to be spec reaction wheels. There we go. Better get the duct tape ready. That's not encouraging. Okay. Sorry, I was just saying this ship is going to be 100% fine. Like if I were to continue on with this, I could refuel this ship, restock it all, and it could just go right back out there again. Antennas I care very little about at this point. Inspect the reaction wheels though. Oh, we are crossing radiation. Okay, I'm assuming that's fine. I noticed there was a service, but it was buried and oh, it could fail any moment. That should be fixing soon. Batteries, if one of those fails, it's not a big deal. Solar panels we inspected not too long ago. Let's just do the engines one more time. And then I think I'm calling it. Yep. Engines are probably fine. Whoop. Come back, come back. That one's fine. That one's brand new, it says. Okay. Oh. So I think, Neil, we've been gone, but this Duna was a pretty view, but come on. I think this is a prettier one. Okay, where are we at? We are getting ready to do another burn. I guess I don't have to worry about the harvesting anymore. I mean, our food's... Oh yeah, we're fine for food. So, yeah. Give me a few minutes warning on that, because sometimes it seems to take a while for this ship to turn around. Okay. Mono check. What are we at for monopropellant? Oh, it's got to be really low. Oh no, we're fine for monopropellant. Our monopropellant is simply being used up by the EVAs, and that's it. Look at everything that's in orange, though. I haven't done a Kerbal check in a little while. Still under 10% stress. Oh, Valentina's at 10%. That's only because she doesn't like Bob. Okay. So do I... Oh, there's my inclination there. So this is just to zero out the relative inclination with... I should probably watch it from here so I can really watch that. Ah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is just to zero out the inclination with our target. Technically, I guess the relative inclination with our target. Okay, not very much. And boop. What's our relative? Oh, I can tell that's fine. Yep, absolutely, Ducky. That is great. Okay, I'm going to just lock that on ProGrade so we can set up our solar panels. But now it's time to start. So you can center this on Kerbin. This is our target. Maneuver right here. And now this is about getting an encounter with that plane.